Well, tonight, Ed, we have the privilege of this is an interview with Cha, and
Okay.
we want to kind of delve into the depths and the bottomless pit of her comedy career.
Yeah, it is the pits. Yes,
These words just come out, Cha.
they do. They do.
I can't help it. But first of all, thank you for being our special guest today, Cha.
Of
And
course.
we want to know the ins and outs. How does somebody get into the comedy career? I mean, and I believe it's a calling. And I want to hear how you felt God called you to the comedy career ministry, however you want to call it. What was the first impulse that you had or knew that you were supposed to do this?
My parents were the first.
Okay.
I was very, very young. And in fact, it was when I was born, both parents laughed. So after that, I figured, go for comedy. All during the time of growing up, I was raised in a very German way. And being very German is not funny. And so I had to find a way to get out of things. And also, my mom was very funny, I believe it or not, and my dad. And so I became a comedian. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm funny. I went to a singles group in California and I met comedian Nazareth. And he was saying that they're given instructions. I went, and when I went, I think it was 6 weeks.
Mhm.
I couldn't tell you, maybe hour, 2 hours. It flew. It flew. I sharpened my writing skills and I also sharpened my claws and really enjoyed it. In order to graduate, we had to do uh, stand up. Most people fell down. And then the writing, and it just clicked. It just clicked. So during COVID, I wrote a lot for comedian Nazareth on his podcast. And a lot of the writing dealt with what not to say. And one of the things were like what not to say on the first date.
Okay.
And the writings would be something like, my mother is in the car, she wants to meet you. You'll love my therapist, uh, things of sort. My attorney wants you to sign here, all different types. And it just really flew. But then I might be good at that, but I can't park a car. I can't add or subtract. So I have a really difficult time with those things.
Okay. Very good. Wow. So your connection then with Nazareth was very instrumental, would you say?
Yeah, so it was like playing the accordion, very instrumental.
Yes. Okay. I think that's an important part if people are called to the comedy ministry that God he puts us in contact with a mentor or mentors plural.
Or mental people like you.
I told people, yeah. Uh, One of my early mentors was, of course, Gordon Douglas, and always looked
Mm,
up to him. And
yeah,
yeah. So tell
yeah.
us about now that was probably your first gig at that class that you took. What about after that? Tell us a little bit about the gigs after that.
Well, I found out quickly what a heckler was. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, um, you learn from your mistakes, but I don't. I mean, one of the things you learn is know your audience. Um, the other is be careful who you employ. I had a video guy, and we were at a assisted living, sharp people. Uh, that went okay. But then we went to a nursing home, which is a little bit different. And the video guy, I was up on the stage just starting, and he couldn't operate the video. And he said to me, John, I can't help me. Can't. Come on, hurry. They don't have long. So it's he didn't get his check. He just didn't get his check there. And the other one was it's difficult to do uh comedy with people who don't speak English. So that was interesting. Long story there. Long story there. Uh, go on. Give me
Okay.
another question.
Yeah, very good, very good. What if we're gonna have people that are just beginning getting into comedy and they watch us tonight, what would be some of the pitfalls that you would warn them about?
Don't trip over the cordless mic. I do that all the time.
That's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Be aware of your surroundings.
Okay. You talked about audience awareness,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Correct.
How about how do you handle the negative voice inside your head, especially after like a heckler or a comedy bomb?
It's never happened to me.
Never,
Mhm.
never had any doubts or, you know.
Well, let me put it this way. When I get on the stage, before I get on the stage, I say a prayer. And I say, Dear Lord, you've given me this gift. And if I mess up, it's your fault.
Great strategy. Let's blame the Almighty. I like that. Any lightning and thunder happen after that prayer?
No, 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 not at all. He has a sense of humor.
Yes, he
He
does.
does.
Ed, what about you, in your beautiful blondness? Are you, do you have any questions for Chuck?
Um, Not at the moment, and I'll think of, if I think of some, I'll ask.
Okay, yes, thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that.
but I can appreciate what she shared about writing skills, and I will. And when we first became Facebook friends, she was writing, pointing me toward the direction that it was my writing assistants that needed, the greatest work. And I used to think it was the other way around.
Okay.
I was helping out.
Well,
I was,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You definitely did help. I mean,
yeah,
I have to, if you don't mind me share, as an
again.
experience, I mixed, on the topic of military jokes, I mixed two of my jokes and two of yours, and guess which got the greater laughs?
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Yours.
Oh, which one though? Was it about
The,
the
the
rifle?
classic one was this. Remember the beloved gas chamber. Your
Oh,
knees
yeah.
knocked and your eyes wandered. Reminds me of my wedding vows. Now, one
Yeah.
woman I shared with said, "Oh, don't use that." I said, "Are you kidding? This is a signature."
Yeah. But it goes like this. Do you remember the gas it's chambers? The gas chambers, your eyes, you crying, you felt nauseous, your knees knocked. Oh, wait a minute. That was me reciting my wedding vows. Yeah. A little confusing
I
there.
could have sworn you said reminds me of my wedding, but anyway, but the concept is the same. Of course.
Well, you
Also,
left two things out
oh, I'm sorry.
and you completely blew it.
I completely blew up.
Mm-hmm. And the other one, the Claymore mines, they have because if you don't position it correctly, you could blow yourself up. So they say, was it front towards enemy, right? And it's
What,
in bold
on both
print.
sides of the main, on
Well,
both
yeah.
sides or something.
Well,
Yeah.
well, leave it up to the military, right, to put it on both sides. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I see they blew you up a couple of times. Look at your hair. Look at your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know about stepping on mines. I mean, I'm still recovering from Woodstock.
That's when we all got together and for our Christian Comedy Association.
Oh yeah, we were, well, no, you, me, and John were at Ruby Tuesdays, and Ruby Tuesdays, oh, they can barely not since I was at Steak and Shake with Johnny Roberts at my first CCA conference was there such a rumbling.
Yeah. Yeah. We miss Johnny though. Johnny was a
Well,
great,
I
great
do,
guy.
but he
Yeah.
doesn't want to come back to us.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Johnny was good. He's one of the early ones that embraced us and gave us
Yes.
a place and gave us some honor, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I remember one of my early gigs. It was so horrible. It was a place called Karen's Place, and I don't know, on the way to Philly. And like three comedians went up before me, and they did pretty good. I went up there. This is like one of my first gigs, and I did my jokes. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So
Mhm.
I'm walking off the stage and the comedians would not even look at me. They
Oh.
would not even make eye contact. I'd
Oh.
walk past them, they'd look down. They were ashamed to even look at me. It was horrible. Oh, but I could look laugh. See, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, back then it was horrible for about 5 years. And now I'm at the point where I just don't care. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like you said, you pray. To me, this is a ministry. I'm called by God to do it. Like I had my best friend today talk to me. He said, "You're still doing that comedy. Give up. You stink." I know this guy for 20 years.
Yeah.
But I told him, "Thank you. That actually motivates me to do more."
Oh.
I mean, you're like a doctor and a lawyer. I mean, they deal in the practice, so you're like a comedian in practice.
In practice, that's
Yeah,
right.
you got a
Yes.
wide thing there.
So one of the things I found, you guys,
Wait a minute. You're supposed to be interviewing me.
this is
I mean,
leading
we
up to
only
a
have an
question.
hour. I mean,
This is leading up to a question.
thank you.
Panic not. One of the things I've noticed, dear friends, is I think the majority of comedy, especially stand-up, is writing.
Mhm.
That's what I've learned. The better you become as a writer, really, the better you are as a stand-up.
Right.
So what I want to ask you, Cha, what is your writing process?
Well, it's like cheese. I mean, it's like processed cheese. I mean, probably
Okay.
with holes in it like Swiss. But the writing is very, very important. But not many comedians can do both. That's people think because you could do stand up, you can write. Not necessarily. It's very, very difficult to do both. If writing, you have to have economy of words. You got to have the timing. Uh, I mean, I know Naz says you've got to hit it, quickly, every minute or whatever, bam, 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 bam. Now, there are situations where there's other type of comedy, like Shonda Pierce Ruth. We know
Right.
her the other way. She does it in storytelling.
Mhm.
It's something I could never do. I could never do. So basically, you got to hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. So anyway, so what was the question?
Well, that was a question, your
Mm-hmm.
process and how do you write a joke? Do you sit
Right.
down and look at a blank paper? Do you read the newspaper?
Right.
What do you
Oh, and
do?
knowing English is very, very important. I mean, in the beginning, I had a good friend of mine, Mike, and he was good with, you know, some things you don't repeat in a sentence. It's very good to know the grammar and
Right.
the sequence of that of the English language. That's very, very important.
Mhm.
Being redundant is not good. Being redundant is not
Right.
good. Being redundant is not good. So,
Say that again.
yeah, you can say that again. So that way,
Yeah, very good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
one of the things that I have noticed. It was a hard lesson for me to learn being a preacher is to be concise. And I think that's what you're talking about. And one of the things I have noticed about your material is you are very concise.
Mhm.
You have trimmed off the fat and you
Right,
you give the setup, you give the punchline, the setup,
mhm,
punchline.
right.
And it's interesting because I was just listening to Angela not Jolie Johnson, Angela Johnson,
Mhm,
and I noticed she is a storyteller.
mhm.
She'll start a story, then she'll add a tag, 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 tag. Very,
Right, right.
and I have done some of that, but my personality is kind of like how you write, Cha, is I want to get a joke out, bam, and then
Right.
start a whole different topic, bam. Holy, to me, it gets boring. If I'm a story, I'm bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, right, right.
I want everything to be new and totally different.
Yeah. And we're from the north, from Pennsylvania, Jersey. I mean, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
And pebbles, pebbles, pebbles. I mean,
Yeah.
right there, there, there. Yeah. And the South, I mean, down here, very storyish. And
Yeah.
it's, you
Yeah.
know,
And I'm the southerner in the group.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say that about you, Ed. I think you tend to be more towards stories. Of course, you do the puns. You're a master at the pun, but you also do
Yes.
story. Actually, the same story over and no, I'm
I
just
know over and over and over again. You know?
I love
Right.
you. I love you.
Right. And then
SOS, same old story.
There you go.
I have a comeback. Sometimes I admit I forget. Sometimes when a person says, "Well, you told me," I said, "Yeah, but I wasn't sure you remembered."
Okay.
Yeah.
We
No, and
remember, Ed. We remember.
we remember. We
I love you,
remember.
man. I love you.
Yeah.
Of course, I feel the love.
He shows up on Thursday. That's all we could ask
He
for,
does.
right?
Ed
Right.
is Mr. Faithful. He really is. All these years we've been friends, Ed. And
Right.
all this crazy
Well,
projects we've done.
it is, I've said this. Okay, so now before you say, I know you told me some things do bear repeating, though. The fact that Charles told me about you, and that's how, and I become a co-host on your show because of Charles telling me about you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well, I
not
had to
everything
make
I
your
say is
vote.
good. I mean, right? I mean, right? Not everything I say is
Oh,
good.
I'm
You
not.
know,
You're the
worth it.
golden girl. What are you talking
No,
about?
most of what you say is good.
Oh, yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got
I
Thank
mean,
you.
and,
Ed, I had to make you a co-host. You wouldn't stop calling in.
oh, thanks. Oh, so the truth comes up.
That's fine. But what I was thinking about comedy is that you can use it in different situations with the kids, distress, what have you. And raising my kids, I would say, you keep this up, I got a mic. So, so don't bother me.
You
Um,
see, you got a what?
a mic,
A
I
what?
got a mic, I can stretch this out, over the airways. So don't bother me.
There you
And
go.
one of the things with my kids was my one son, he took, he tore to pieces the bell off of his trumpet. And he was the only person that that won the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean,
Oh,
oh yeah,
oh,
I'm sorry about that
that's a groan. It
one.
Oh, is that all?
was
Oh,
painfully
good one.
polite.
So see, Charles a punster too,
Yeah, yeah, that was
Yeah.
painfully
and she's
polite.
also very noble.
But you started to believe in me. See, that's another thing about a comedian. Do you ever notice that, like you take Seinfeld and you take Lopez and there's another one, Tim. They come across as good actors. So that's
Right.
another thing, to become an actor, you know.
Yeah.
I did. I said how many times I do. So,
Yeah. Basically, we are
yeah,
sneaky. Comedians are sneaky,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
one of the techniques is the misdirect.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm going this way, and then I'm
right.
turn this way. I'm
Turn that
misdirecting.
way.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
that's
yeah, but you never know when it's going to come, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
And
is-
also with parents. I mean, I was raised in a really weird situation. I mean, my mother was part German and Italian, and my dad was part Cherokee.
oh my
And
gosh.
and yeah, it's like, yeah, the Germans, I mean, no wonder I had multiple personality. My mother, um, the Germans, they go out and start wars. The Cherokees, they try to, stop wars. All right. And the Italians, during wars, they switch. So I mean, I'm all over the place. It's a crazy thing to be. It really
Yeah,
is.
that's quite a
Well, Here,
conglomerate.
here, here, here's a common value. I'm a quarter German myself, and I'm an
Hmm.
eighth
Oh, he's
Chinese,
going to go into the Chinese thing.
and
He's
my
going to go into
stepdad
Chinese.
and my
Yeah,
let me finish, please. My stepdad is Italian, so I have a
yeah,
little bit of Italian influence.
gotcha. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
You're
Yes.
updating our audience on our genetic material.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, about adoptions and children, my dog. Oh my goodness, my dog. She's 16, she's real good. But the other day, oh my gosh, she just was barking and barking and barking. Really, really upset me. So I looked at her. I said, okay, this is it. This is it. This is the time to tell you, you are adopted.
How'd she take it?
Well, she was happy after that. Oh, good. Good. She's over there now. Yeah.
She's
Yeah, she's
16 years old.
16 years old. She's doing
Can you
really
pick her
well.
up and show the camera? This is the comedy dogs.
She's left. No, she's going the other way.
Okay.
She wants nothing of this. But yeah, she's in good shape. The vet, she's in good weight. She good shape. I feed her. I feed her raw food, or sometimes it's cooked, not the regular food, not the dog food.
Well, you
And,
must be doing something right if she's 16 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet 16.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. What you know what's interesting? I took a walk. I used to take a walk in California every day at the park. And so I know that she was left overnight. I saw her, and she looked like an old lady, and she ears drawn back and what have you. So I walked up to her, and she wouldn't even sit. And I picked her up. I only made it halfway home. The neighbor helped me take her. And so I came home. I said, Daddy, can I keep her? And that was the time I was taking care of my dad before he passed. So I mean, you know what she could have done? She could have bit me because she was bitter, right? I mean, she could have been afraid, bitter and everything else. Or she could have said, you know what, I'm going to try one more time. And I'm not going to, use this against her, what have you. And so, and she took that chance. And
Mhm.
because she took that chance and let me touch her, take her, she has a good life. I mean, we all have a reason to be angry at someone or something, right? But don't let that anger turn into maybe sin. Don't let that anger turn into, you forget about, someone in the next relationship that could be good. And I'm just so proud of her that she took on that, and you could tell she was underweight. I could tell later on by the, her behavior that
Mhm.
she was abused. And once again, I'm going to say it again. She had every right type of thing to bite me, not to go, but she took that step of faith. And she,
Aw,
and she's 16. She's happy. Isn't that
That's
great?
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Comedy Dogs, and that's a little bit of dog therapy from Cha. Thank you,
Yeah.
Cha.
You know,
Love your dogs.
love
They
your
feel your
dogs.
vibes, right?
Yes. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Ed is also a dog lover. I see
Yes.
many Facebook
Mm-hmm.
posts of him
Yes.
stealing people's dogs and walking them.
Yeah. Well, for the I know I'll share this with YouTube, but for the listening audience, how a scar was turned into star in my case. As a child, this is kind of close to heart, but just how scars turned into stars for comedy's one way. I had a second grade nun that chided me for being slow. What's taking you so long to eat your lunch? You're so poking. The way she said that word poke. Fast
Mm.
forward 17 years later, the partial Dalmatian dog next door to my grandma. The first few times I tried to pet her, she jumped away from me. Like she didn't trust me. Long
Mhm.
story short, love prevailed. And then after a while, once she got used to me, I couldn't give her enough love. I pull up on my grandma's driveway and she'd come running to meet my car. It was like someone that ever thought she was my dog.
Really?
And then the beauty part, sometimes my grandma would look out the window, she'd come, oh, there's your friend. And she would sometimes come looking for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All that, and by the way, modern research has shown that it's good to eat your food slowly if you can.
It's good to what?
To eat your food slowly if you can. After all
Oh,
the times that I was chided for being slow with eating
mm,
and stuff like that.
gotcha.
So I've actually thought of a comedy topic in praise of slowness, which is both serious and real.
Mhm.
Not always a
I
bad.
think that's good. I think there's a premise there, the joy of slowness.
Yeah.
We live in such a fast-paced society.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Ed. I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. Charlie, you can help me ride it.
There you
Okay.
go. He's giving you a job. Cha,
Yes.
a little bit of advice can you give us about anybody that's watching this, that's thinking about getting into comedy? What advice would you give that person?
Mm. Go in with it with the understanding that, let's say it like this. You're not going to be there like the top dogs. It's the chances of you hitting it real big is not going to happen. Okay. If you take it with an attitude that you're a server, you're serving the Lord,
Mhm.
That's hitting it big.
Yes.
You're doing that mission work. Like what I've done, for the homeless, the prison ministry.
Mhm.
And if God calls you to be up there, if you will, whatever that means, on television, what have you, well, that's wonderful. But that doesn't mean you're a better comedian.
Right.
I mean, you could be really, really funny and not be a millionaire or not be,
Mhm.
up there with that. So enjoy it. And like anything in life, enjoy it. Seek the Lord, seek to be a servant about it.
Mhm.
It's to please other people. It's to please other people.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is excellent, excellent advice. I appreciate that, Jim.
That's,
Mhm.
yeah, confession may be good for the soul, but I think this is something I needed to hear.
Mhm.
Because sometimes I hate to say it, sometimes I struggle in part because when I see some of the superstar Christians, whether they deserve it or not, they get all this, here comes the great man or the funny guy, the whatever. And I'm just kind of like, in my own mind, I feel average and insignificant.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
And then I
Like,
realized that, like you, one time, John, on Sunday, I said, I wish I was you and Gordon today. You told me, bloom where you're planted. And that very day, I saw the light. I had an experience where I was glad to be where I was.
right.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
might sound like a simple phrase, but it was life to those words.
Yeah. I use comedy. I'll give you an example with customer service. I mean, customer service, how may we annoy you? But you know what? They're out there in the front and they're there to help you, but people yell and scream at them. And I have the most wonderful time with them because I know their job is horrible. I always end it with, you know, God, thank you, God bless you. For one thing, they always say this on the phone. One moment, bear with me. Okay, is it brown or is it black? The bear. Or I'll say that you got a really dangerous job there. And so I use that humor in that situation. And then I'll end up, once, God bless you. And they're just so happy. First of all, you're not screaming at them. And what a testimony. You're having fun with them, what have you. And then I'll say something on the line like, um, I'm sorry, I know she's helping me or he's helping me, but I'll say, oh, I know you gotta get back to work. Right? What do you mean to get back to work? That's what she's doing with me. And so just things that just flow with that.
Mhm.
And you can hear the tone of their voice
Mhm.
and they're relaxing. And once again, what a testimony. And then
Right.
they'll say, yeah, God bless you too. I like to throw Jesus out there. It's kind
Yeah.
of, Jesus, Jesus bless you. So I'm really trying to fit that in because God could be anything. But
Right. Right. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I use the humor for.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's what it's a ministry.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned too is that it's a marathon for people that want to get in comedy. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, I know some
Yes.
young comedians that have done well. They're 4 years in, they're doing really well. It's not
Mhm.
the norm.
Right.
uh, and it's your own personal journey with the Lord. I think Ed, you express it so well. Is we want the glory of the accolades of the hundreds of people calling our name, but
Mhm.
really it's about God's glory.
Yes.
Let's do our ministry. Let's bring joy and laughter to people, and let God get the glory. So,
Yeah.
In customer service, I worked at for county. I recently took on a part-time job being a door host at Walmart.
Hmm.
So I've had some chances to, again, a lot of my humor, in fact, most of it really isn't stage. It's just everyday life. But I've had people tell me that I gave them the laugh they needed for the moment.
do
Yeah.
you do it with the wig or without?
Oh, I don't wear the wig to Walmart, if that's what you're asking.
Now,
Or
are
I
you
never,
at the door when they're coming in or when they're going out?
both. Yeah, I greet them when they come in, and it's sort of like, well, I'm supposed to check receipts for things that aren't in the bag, and they'll. Although last night I had confession's good for the soul. There's one guy I had to bite my tongue. Why do you need to do that? You were staring at me the whole time. No, I wasn't. I just it was all I could do. I actually had to walk away for the moment. He just kind of got under my skin, and it was my fault for letting him do it.
Okay.
Mm.
But,
Well, I was going to say, if you're there when they leave,
for the most part, I enjoy it. I
Okay.
enjoy meeting the people coming and going.
yeah,
And
it's a good-
I've even met some fellow Christians along the way.
I was
It's
going to
really
say,
about we connect.
if you're there when they leave, Ed, just to add a little comedy, you can trip them on the way out. They'll
Yeah.
laugh, they'll drop their stuff, it'll break, but they'll laugh. Try to.
Yeah, they'll laugh. They'll
Sure.
laugh. They'll
Sure,
laugh. They'll laugh.
I'll trip and they'll laugh, and that'll be
Yeah.
No, you trip them.
and
It's more
that'll be
fun.
my last day there if they don't, or they might trip me back.
Yeah, I could see it now. You've got that picture in Walmart, employee of the month,
Yeah.
right? With the wig and all.
Oh, if they ever let me share comedy, like for an event or something, I might bring the wig.
I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to make that
Yeah, yeah,
employee of the week
of the month.
and the med.
I could maybe I could be a promote. Wait a minute. Wait, I just thought of something. I could be a promotion for wig sales. I want one. We want to.
Ed, listen, do me a favor, seriously. When we're done here, I want you to take your cell phone, get in a good light, take a picture of you with the wig, and send it to me.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to make a poster, employee of the month.
Sure, I will.
Well,
That would make me so happy.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
All right. Well, look, it's been a really great episode. I think we've gotten some good things out there. Cha, you've been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this interview, and you're welcome back. Even when you're not the special guest, we do this hopefully every week now on Thursday.
Well, she was with us last week, so yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm,
all right, you guys have a great night, and thanks again for being part of the Comedy Dogs.
thank you. Bye, guys.
Who let the
Bye.
dogs out?